Five worst deals from the start of NFL free agency. Free agency's first wave has crashed into the NFL, and green is flying everywhere. Teams around the league wasted little time handing out hundreds of millions of dollars to capture the top players on the open market. But as history tells, here are the 5 most perplexing deals from the first 3 days of free agency. 5 years, $85M, $51M guaranteed. The Jets blew the ceiling off the inside linebacker market with their deal for Mosley. A day after this, Luke Kuechly and Bobby Wagner, widely considered the cream of the position, earn a now relatively modest $12.36 million and $10.75 million per year, respectively. Mosley's average. The linebacker is an elite run defender, but in addition to his non-existent pass rushing abilities, he lacks the cover skills that have become the more sought-after talent for inside linebackers in recent years. The Jets weren't. Mosley's a 4-time Pro Bowler for a reason, but it's highly unlikely he'll have the kind of impact that would make such an investment worthwhile. 4 years, $37M, $23.5M guaranteed. But is the plan to rebuild from the ground up, or try to win in Eli Manning's final stretch? Trading away Tate will turn 31 in August but receives more guaranteed money than all but 11 other free agents, and 9 of those are between 25 and 27 years old. While a contender. Video by Yahoo Sports. The signing makes about as much sense on the field as it does financially. As one of the league's 4 years, $88M, $50, $13M guaranteed. Foles earned almost mythical status and easily during his magical second stint with the Philadelphia Eagles. But the Jaguars, the veteran's average salary of $22 million ranks 11th among quarterbacks, ahead of the likes of Russell Wilson, Ben Roethlisberger, and Philip Rivers. All 3 are entering contract years. More importantly, even though Jacksonville appeared to be bidding against itself, it failed to leave itself with significant flexibility despite knowing from recent experience how a poor quarterback contract can drag down a franchise. The $16.5 million dead money hit from releasing Blake Bortles should have been a glaring reminder. While Foles' postseason stats over the past 2 years are impressive, he ranks 20th in passer rating and 22nd in QBR during the regular season since 2012, according to, and he'll have a far inferior supporting cast in Jacksonville. Foles is definitely 4 years, $66M, $20M signing bonus. Second-year GM Brian Gutekunst finally gave the Packers fanbase the big money additions it long coveted under Ted Thompson's frugal regime. Linebackers the 2 Smiths will replace the unproductive duo of Clay Matthews and Nick Perry, and there's little doubt they'll be an upgrade. Matthews and Perry. Green Bay was interested in Dee Ford, whom the San Francisco 49ers paid a hefty price to acquire by sending the Chiefs a 2020 second-rounder. Still, Aaron Rodgers will turn 36 years old during the 2019 season, and the Packers are clearly feeling the pressure to deliver a contender. But with 2 first, 3 years, $21M, $5M guaranteed. In free agency, you don't necessarily have to spend big money to make a big mistake. Case in point, the A16-game starter, Hard, was one of just 4 offensive tackles who allowed 10 or more sacks, according to. When Hard looked more like someone fighting to stay in the NFL than a player worthy of a contract that will put him inside the top 10 highest paid right tackles if he hits incentives to increase the $16.15 million base value. The deal won't make or contract details courtesy. Related slideshow athletes who retired but played again provided by USA Today Sports. Copyright 2019 Score Media Ventures Incorporated. All rights reserved.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. I keep fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.